What's going down, y'all? It's your boy Dubblup, and welcome to the channel. Today's video is brought to you by the new shirt. What y'all think? Outwork them all. Now, you know that's my motto. These shirts will be available ASAP. I'm gonna put the link in the comments. If you like it, go ahead and cop one, support the brand. As usual, make sure you jam that subscribe button, turn on notifications, because I want to stay connected and I want to make sure that you're getting the most out of your connection with the boy Dubblup. Now, for today's video, I actually want to talk about something. There was a question that was brought up in a Facebook group, and when I saw the answers, it was just kind of driving me crazy. But the question was, what's better, cardio or strength training? So what I'm going to do right now is break it down for you, 100%. The final answer, the last thing you need to know when it comes to the difference between cardio and strength training. Okay, are you ready? So which one is better, cardio or strength training? Well, I gotta tell you, the question is kind of loaded because strength training is cardio. See, when most people think about cardio, they think about running on a treadmill, the elliptical, running outside, doing some type of activity that involves running, jumping, yada, yada, yada. But when you actually think about the definition of cardiovascular activity, all it really means is raising your heart rate. So with that being said, if you're doing it correctly, strength training is cardio, which makes that question null and void. But for those that need the explanation, I do want to go ahead and break it down for you. See, when you're engaged in resistance training, you're creating a contraction in the muscle, okay? So that contraction right there requires blood, especially when you have a resistance against that contraction. The blood is coming from your heart. So in order for that blood to actually reach those muscle fibers, your heart rate has to be elevated. So by engaging in resistance training, strength training, lifting weights, whatever you want to call it, you are actually lifting your heart rate. And that's why you break a sweat. And that's why you burn fat so much more efficiently by using strength training versus cardiovascular activity. Now, don't get me wrong. You don't have to sacrifice one for the other. You can do them both. One is not better than the other. In fact, they are one and the same. And what's so cool about it is the variables that are included in strength training that can be manipulated can also contribute to your cardiovascular activity. So what do I mean by that? What I'm talking about is you can go light to moderate weight with higher repetitions and still get your heart rate up. You can go low repetitions with heavier weight, okay, and still get your heart rate up because of the force and the energy needed to perform the movement. Bow! So this is why it's so important to incorporate strength training into your fitness routine. Yes, you can absolutely lose weight and burn fat by simply doing cardio. And yes, you can lose weight and burn fat by simply doing strength training. But why do you want to limit yourself? Do them both in tandem. So one's not better than the other. You don't have to sacrifice resistance training because you love to ride your Peloton, and you don't have to throw your Peloton away because you want to get under a squat rack and throw some big numbers up. I really hope that brought some clarity to everybody, because cardio is not just running. It's not just getting on a treadmill. It's not just hitting on a bike, right? Cardiovascular activity is anything that gets your heart rate up. So with that being said, I find it very important to monitor your heart rate when you're doing cardiovascular activity, when you're doing strength training, or just in general, because there is a zone in which your heart rate can hit that burns the most fat the most efficiently while also helping to recover. Speaking of recovery, that's why cardio and strength training go together so well. Because when you are strength training, when you engage in resistance training, you're breaking down those muscle fibers. You're literally tearing the muscle fibers. And in order to build strength and to create that lean muscle, those muscle fibers need to heal. They need to recover. And part of recovery is restoring blood flow to the muscles. So how do you do that? Through cardiovascular activity. So at the end of your strength training routine, at the end of your resistance training day, why don't you hop on a treadmill for 5 or 10 minutes, get your heart rate up, and pump some blood to those muscles to aid in recovery. No, it's not cardio versus strength training. It's cardio and strength training. Put them together. Make that a part of your routine, because I promise you, having a well-rounded routine that includes cardiovascular activity and resistance training will only get you to your results faster. And not only that, it's going to create some efficiency within your body, right? You're not going to get tired as fast because your heart is used to pumping blood at this rate. And the more you work on building that lean muscle, the more your heart can pump that blood efficiently, and it doesn't have to happen at a high rate. So this is where endurance comes in, because now your body is able to handle the stress that you put on it. So that's why we keep increasing weight. That's why we keep going a little bit harder in the gym, because our bodies adapt. I could go on and on about this, but the bottom line is you need to understand that your resistance training, that your weightlifting, that your strength training is cardio. It's not any different. You don't have to pick one or the other. They are married. They're hooked at the hip. They're best friends. They be texting each other at 2 o'clock in the morning. What you doing? Nothing. What you doing? You want to get together? Yeah, let's do it. Let's kick it. What's cracking? Now that we've got that out of the way, what's the most efficient strength training and cardio routine? That's a very good question. I couldn't tell you that right now because I don't know your goals, but I love to know your goals. So why don't you put that in the comments right now? Let me know your fitness goals, and let's see what we can do to help you get there. As always, my lines are open. You can hit me up. You can ask me whatever questions you have. I love talking this fitness stuff. It's my life. I live and breathe this. So if you found value from this video, share this with somebody. Let them know there's no difference between strength training and cardio. They're the same. In fact, your strength training is cardio. My name is Dubblup, and it's been a pleasure rocking with you guys. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, hit that thumbs up, hit that like. Let me know that you're feeling this content. Let me know what you want to hear next from me. We're building this thing one brick at a time. We outwork them all, baby. Thank you for tapping in, and I'll see you on the next one. Let's go.